When Iran handed his lunch drink to a senior for the fourth day in a row, he didn't understand why no one was stopping it. Isla, his classmate, was too afraid to speak up. Both just 10 years old, bright-eyed, hopeful, but thrown into a world they weren't ready for. In today's fast-paced world, many parents are turning to boarding schools as a solution to academic and behavioral challenges in their children. For some, it's about discipline. For others, it's prestige. But what if this choice, made in haste or with good intentions, becomes the very decision that scars a child for life? This is not just about boarding schools. It's about timing, maturity, emotional readiness, and the irreversible impact of premature exposure to an unsupervised environment. It's also about wherever you send your child in the name of, oh, those are my relatives, my brother, my sister, my uncle, my auntie, my dear. These people you are talking about have their bags full of responsibilities. They owe their own kids. Adding yours might just be an extra baggage they never tell you. You could only notice when it's probably too late or not. There are proven facts of these scenarios today. No one talks about. Through the fictional stories of Iran and Isla, two bright, curious 10-year-olds, I'll explore the very real, hidden dangers of sending children too early to these environments. Iran was used to waking up to his mother's warm voice and Isla to her father's soft knock on the door. Suddenly, all of that disappeared. Within just a few short days of settling in as boarding house students, things began to change. Iran was bullied, not once, but consistently. His daily drink was taken from him by a senior for 2 straight weeks. He used money meant for his teacher to buy snacks for seniors just to avoid being punished or singled out. These incidents sound small, but they aren't. They signal the beginning of emotional erosion. A child forced to comply for fear of social punishment learns to suppress his own values, and worse, no one may ever know. A child at 10 is still emotionally vulnerable. Iran, once cheerful and talkative, grew reserved. Isla, who loved to ask questions, began to second-guess herself. Sleep patterns changed. They struggled to concentrate in class. They became emotionally reactive or withdrawn. Children need emotional safety. Without it, they operate in survival mode, hindering both learning and development. Boarding schools often expect students to be independent, but independence without readiness is trauma. Iran started imitating seniors who were rude and aggressive. Isla began copying slang and inappropriate phrases she picked up in the dorm. They were learning, but not math or science. They were absorbing behaviors and ideologies from older, unmonitored students. Behaviors that neither parent condoned, but were helpless to control from afar. Secret culture, such as abuse, initiations, and dark influences. While schools may never admit it, the boarding house system has layers of unspoken tradition. To be accepted, some kids endure physical punishments or forced labor. Abuse by seniors, verbal, emotional, and in some cases sexual abuse, covered up or ignored. Peer manipulation. Younger students are tricked into running errands, losing their belongings, or worse. This shadow culture breeds trauma that lingers into adulthood. In some cases, the teachers and staff prioritize protecting the school's image over a child's well-being. Parents are told everything is fine. Minor issues are downplayed. No one tells you your child cried himself to sleep or is being called names daily. Why? Because money is at stake. In boarding schools, some staff are more concerned about keeping parents happy than protecting the children. A good report card trumps emotional wellness. In an environment lacking consistent adult presence, children adopt values from their peers. Iran learned to lie about his allowance to keep some money hidden. Isla learned that being bad meant gaining attention and popularity. By the time the truth reaches home, the damage is deep. Some children become rebellious, secretive, or emotionally numb. Many parents believe boarding school is the path to discipline. But obedience gained through fear isn't discipline, it's submission. Children often behave only when being watched. They don't internalize values, they follow rules to avoid punishment. When they eventually leave that environment, they become confused adults who struggle with real-life boundaries. A 10-year-old needs their parents more than ever. They're learning identity, they're forming beliefs, they're deciding what love, safety, and trust mean. Sending them away at this time, without emotional maturity, can break that bond. They would feel abandoned, rejected, or unloved, even when that's not the intention. Emotional abuse has long-term consequences in the form of anxiety, depression, trust issues, identity crisis, unexplained anger. All of these can stem from neglect, rejection, and abuse in early years. Boarding school experiences, especially at a tender age, can silently build these emotional walls. In the past, moral values were communal. Today, virtue is rare. Children don't just learn from teachers. They learn from phones, friends, trends, and whispers in the dark. Peer influence is more powerful than parental instruction in many cases. Children are exposed to content and concepts way above their age level. The speed of corruption today is unimaginable. Even a few months can change a child permanently. Teachers are overworked. House parents can't monitor everyone. Other students don't care about your child. No one will ever love, notice, or defend your child like you would be. At home, you're their shield. In boarding school, they're exposed, vulnerable. Yes, in some cases, boarding school can work when the child is emotionally mature, in the sense of being able to filter good from bad, know if he has been used as a scapegoat, deliberately or not. I mean, he knows when to say no vehemently, so he wouldn't be in trouble at the hand of the authorities. The school has a proven record of ethical care. The child is older. Even then, frequent communication, visits, and emotional guidance must continue. Instead of sending children away, why not hire trained teachers? Create a structured schedule. Monitor emotional and academic progress. Iran and Isla showed tremendous progress at home within months. Iran moved from not knowing how to read to reading fluently. Isla overcame speech anxiety and began to write her own stories. These victories happened under parental love and observation, not isolation. Being a parent isn't about making life hard for your child so they learn strength. It's about protecting, guiding, and gently stretching them into strength. We must choose progress over pressure, connection over control. The world outside is loud, confusing, and sometimes dangerous. Home should be a child's safest place until they're strong enough to navigate the world. At 10 or 11, a child is still under construction, mind, heart, and soul. Let's not throw them into environments we can't control, hoping they'll come out better. Not every child survives. Some break, some never recover, and some become strangers in their own homes. Let's give our children the gift of time, attention, and protection. Let's raise strong children without breaking them in the process.